If you like sleeping in on your Disney vacation, this is for you. Hello Mayhem Fam, and welcome back to our Evening in the Park series. We recently did a rope drop series for all you morning people, but for my fellow night gremlins, this is for you. The afternoon and evening are my personal favorite time to visit the Disney parks because there's a special kind of magic that only happens at night. So today I'm at Disney's Hollywood Studios for the final 4 hours of the park being open, and I'm gonna show you how to have the best evening possible right here in Hollywood. So we got a lot to do, not a lot of time, let's go. Now, of course, if you want to truly maximize your day, you're gonna go to the parks pretty much all day long. So this series is perfect if it's your check-in day, if you wanted to luxuriate by the pool or at Disney Springs for the morning time. Or these are really fun and kind of intended to be like a mix and match guide because people ask about park hopping a lot. So you can kind of take the rope drop morning series and mix and match it with the evening series we're doing now to create your perfect day if you're going to a couple parks. Now, at Animal Kingdom, where I started this series on the last episode, we did not use multi-pass lightning lanes. We only got a fancy ride for Flight of Passage. Here at Hollywood Studios, I did purchase multi-pass as well as a fancy ride because this park has so many heavy hitters and the wait times can be really hit or miss. Unlike Animal Kingdom, this park does tend to get really popular at night because of Fantasmic, so I will be using lightning lanes throughout the day. And while this won't be a full lightning lane breakdown, you will be able to see me using it in real time. And our first lightning lane I came into the park with is for right now at Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. Shockingly, it only has a 30-minute wait right now, which is pretty low for this attraction, but it did just rain, so I'm assuming people left when it rained, and it'll keep getting busier as the night goes on. But that's not too bad. We're still gonna use the lightning lane though. Tower of Terror has been an icon looming down Sunset Boulevard ever since it opened in 1994. It is a drop style attraction with a 40-inch height requirement, and it's gonna take you into the Hollywood Tower Hotel, which one night, Halloween night in fact, 1939. Thank you. Lightning struck the elevator and some new residents have resided here ever since. This is definitely a fan favorite. It is, in my opinion, one of the best themed attractions Disney's ever done. It's got an incredible queue, an absolute must ride when you're in this park. And while it is only a 30-minute line, it's mostly outside and it's summertime. So I'm happy to be moving and grooving into this queue in July. Once you've tapped in at your first attraction, Tower of Terror has 2 touch points, so once you've tapped in at the second touch point, you can then book another one. Because remember, with multi-pass lightning lane, you can always hold 3, and I just used 1. You can also, at that point, modify ones you already have if you wanted to try for a different attraction, modify to a better attraction, etc. So I have Toy Story Mania later today. It's a little late, possibly, so I might see if I can move that one up. I've also got Slinky Dog later today, which is great. I'm super thrilled I was able to get that. But I really want to do Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, so I'm going to try and book that. Unfortunately, it looks like that one's out. Smuggler's Run does have some. Rock and Roller Coaster's closed and doesn't have any more, which is never a good sign. I could do Star Tours, and most of the shows at this point are over. I'm also not going to do shows tonight till I get to the evening shows, just because they are kind of a time suck and we're not here for super long. So not a ton of great options with Lightning Lane. I'm not gonna book anything right now, and I'm just gonna keep checking back for Mickey and Minnie's. And what I'm gonna do to make this fiddle faddle easier is I'm going to pin Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway to the top of my day. So, oh, party at 1, hold on.
Crossed over into the Twilight Zone.
Banger attraction every single time. Also, there was a child on there with me that was like, this is cute. And I just know that's a Halloween girly in the making. Okay, so as I was trying to say, but didn't have enough time while I was getting on the vehicle, is one way to make your life a little bit easier with the My Disney Experience app is to pin the rides you're actively looking for or care about to the top of your tip board. And you do that by going to today's plans and then set up my day. And then it's going to ask you a couple questions like, what attractions do you care about? Do you want princess recommendations? Do you want to know the height requirements? You're going to click all that, and then you are going to program it. And then when you look at the tip board, the attractions you picked are going to be pinned to the top, which means when you refresh, aka fiddle faddle, on the tip board screen or on the modify screen, those attractions you care about are on the top, and you don't have to scroll all the way down to M for Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. Speaking of, still no lightning lanes have popped up. I'm hopeful some will. I feel good that they will in a bit. But for now, we have another lightning lane. So we're headed to the galaxy far, far away. But also, most importantly, I got a shaky Jamaica. Not gonna lie to you, my original plan was to go do single rider at Rock and Roller Coaster after I did Tower of Terror, so that I could do 2 attractions real quick walking into the park. But as you know, Rock and Roller Coaster is closed, which is just my friendly reminder to be flexible, pack those patient pants. Unfortunately, something like that will probably happen on your vacation. An attraction will have a downtime, or it'll thunderstorm, transportation might take longer, something's gonna happen. It's just the reality of the situation. So make sure you have a plan, but also be flexible, have some other backup options. No matter what, you're gonna have a great time. But just know, even the best laid plans go awry when Steven Tyler doesn't wanna call his super stretch, I guess. He did not love that idea. And I guess he's okay with me missing a thing. Headed now into Star Wars Galaxy's Edge to the planet of Batuu, where we are gonna do the fancy ride of this park, Rise of the Resistance, which I was thrilled I was able to get a fancy ride because I'm not a resort guest, which means I couldn't book my lightning lanes till 3 days ago as opposed to a week out. And oftentimes Rise of the Resistance is not available for non-resort guests by the time they're able to book. So I was tickled that there was one for me to book right now. And I love this ride. Who doesn't? This is one of the best rides in the world. It is about a 20-minute ride. It's hard to even call it a ride. It's more of a full experience where you are going to join up with the Resistance and your favorites like Rey, Finn, and of course Poe, Dameron, as some of us like to call him. And you are going to be put right in the middle of a battle with the First Order. It is unbelievable. Even if you're not a Star Wars person, you need to ride this. My mom hasn't seen anything but the original trilogy. She called Kylo Ren Darth Vader the whole time. She loved it. It has a 40-inch height requirement, and it does have single rider, but single rider cuts off a lot of the experience, so I don't recommend it personally, unless you want to re-ride it or that's your only option. I will say the park's not super busy right now, so it only has a 40-minute wait, which is very low for this attraction. It's normally an hour or much longer. So I do recommend, if you can, just go ahead and lock in that fancy ride just to guarantee that you've got a spot without looking at a long line. Otherwise, end of the night is a good option. Or if you're a Disney Hotel resort guest, you can rope drop it.
Recruits, thank you for joining the cause. A covert resistance team led by my friend Finn has infiltrated a First Order Star Destroyer that is now headed to this system. Your outpost on Batuu is no longer safe. Welcome to the cause. May the Force be with us.
Commander Poe Dameron and a squadron of X-Wings shall escort us to the rendezvous point on Bakara.
Roger, this is Black Leader. I hear you're a fine-looking group of recruits. The General.
Stand clear.
This cargo vessel is not of the property of the First Order. Grab your belongings and disembark immediately. Move along!
I've got a bad feeling about this. Also, that's never not cool. That's never not the coolest.
You have what I want. You know the location of the secret base, and I will take it from you.
Path to the turbo lifts at the end of the hallway. Turn right.
If anyone's packing a blaster, now's a good time. Ah! The escape pods just below us! Wait, why are you going up? I said down, up is bad. Up is real bad.
Then I will destroy you and the Resistance.
gets me every time, and I will tell you when. It is when, after you've seen General Bill Weasley and not Darth Vader on the bridge, and you hear Rey's theme, which is so hopeful to me. That music, ooh, you know, feels good, like joy and hope, and that's nice. Whew. Anyway, you know, crying as always, but it's also been a minute since I've been on that ride. One thing I get asked a lot, kind of a side note, is like, don't you get sick of going to the parks all the time? Like, aren't you faking enjoying these rides? You've been on them so many times. And like, the beauty of being my own boss and running our own company is we get to decide what we do and what we make. And so I try really hard when I'm making the YouTube schedule to spread out which parks we're going to as, you know, possible, and then also spread out like what kind of video it is. So it might be like food focused or ride focused, you know, because one, not only is that more entertaining for you because we're mixing it up all the time, but two, it keeps it like not redundant for us. So it's been a long time since I've been on the ride, and it is so good. And I was with a group of guests that had clearly never been on it before. They all had first visit buttons, and hearing their reactions to each moment also just like brings you a lot of joy too. So, whew, that's a good one. That is a good one. And I'm lucky to have just ridden it. But now we have a very important pit stop for our first feeding of the day. But we're not actually going to eat it. I'll explain. So, no, weather pending, I don't think you can have a best night at Hollywood Studios without ending with the best nighttime show at Walt Disney World, Fantasmic. And what's the best snack for a show? Popcorn. But what's better than regular popcorn? Space popcorn. So I am headed to Kat Saka's Kettle, which is where you can get my beloved Kat Saka's Outpost Mix, which is a sweet and spicy popcorn blend. And I'm gonna pick it up and I'm gonna put it in the Ziploc bag I brought in my purse, and I'm gonna carry it around with me all day or all afternoon until Fantasmic, and then I'm gonna eat it then, and it's gonna be awesome. Unfortunately, while I'm waiting in line to get my popcorn though, we have to do a don't be a jerk in the park PSA, and that is clean up after yourselves. I'm just standing here and I notice this cup full of trash. I don't know who left it here. None of these people I see left it here, so I'm not shaming anyone publicly, but I am gonna pick it up and show you how many trash cans are within, I don't know, a 4-second walk from right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 trash cans, all within this radius right here. Because at Walt Disney World and the Disney parks in America, Walt Disney determined that you needed to have a trash can about every 30 or so steps, because otherwise people will throw stuff on the ground. So if you're in a Disney park, you're about 30 steps away from a trash can at all times. These people were 1, 2, 6 maybe steps from a trash can and still left it right there. So as this don't be a jerk in the park PSA, I'm not saying you have to like wipe your table to be spotless, but like, don't just leave your trash around, you animals. Not you guys. I'm hoping if you're watching this, you wouldn't do this, but it's a pet peeve of mine, and I felt compelled to say that. All right, now I'm gonna get hand sanitizer and also popcorn. All right, Target acquired, and while I am gonna put most of this into my Ziploc, I would not be me if I didn't horse bag face plant into it first. Oh, it's so good. It's been a minute. The blue purpley kernels are blueberry lemon pound cake. The red kernels are chili lime, so it's like a sweet and spicy Trix mix. It is not for everyone, but let me just say, if Kat Saka's Outpost Mix has 100 fans, I'm one of them. If it has 1 fan, it's me, and if it has no fans, I'm dead. Because this is one of my favorite theme park snacks. I love it so much, and I'm gonna bag it up, and then I think I need to go get a snack that I'm actually gonna consume right now, because now I'm hungry. See, the thing is, a Ziploc bag is a very helpful tool when you're going to a theme park. It doesn't take up much room in your bag, but it can be helpful for leftovers. If you don't want to finish a whole treat right at that moment, like you get something from the bakery case, you don't have time, or if you've got like wet stuff, like if you ride a ride and your socks get wet, you want to take them off, or you want to control your pins. It's a very helpful little tool. You want to protect your phone or something on a water ride? Ziploc. If you had a bigger bag, you could bring Tupperware, but I only have this. I don't even know if this is gonna fit in here. I'm gonna have to do some Tetris, hold on. Just a girl in a purse snack. And this is why I carry the Stony Clover jumbo bags. Not an ad, but literally, that's why I carry them. Okay, snacks, let's go. Also, I should note that whilst waiting to buy my popcorn, I was able to fiddle faddle for a Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, which is in about a little more than an hour. So that's a little far away. I don't want to waste that much time, but I'm gonna try and get it closer. But at least we have it locked in, which does leave us with a pretty nice stack for this evening as the evening goes on. So honestly, if I was a regular person, I would be cool with an hour to just luxuriate and enjoy and go sit at my next location, or maybe hop to 2 different locations or go see a show. Could go see oh wait, rip. But, you know, I might try and move it up just to see if I can, just to make sure I have enough time to do everything I want to do. Now, Hollywood Studios is a great park to luxuriate at because they've got 2 of my favorite spots. One is the Brown Derby Lounge, which is the outdoor patio at the Brown Derby, a signature restaurant. But if you go to the patio, you can order off the Lounge Bites menu as well as the full menu, and you can get excellent handcrafted cocktails. I love getting a classic cocktail like an old fashioned or a martini. They've also got a martini flight or a margarita flight and the famous Cobb salad. But my other favorite spot is right here, which is Baseline Tap House, which is a California-inspired brewery, which serves a variety of California beers, a couple of wines and cocktails, and they have some small plates, and they have a cheese board here, which I think is fantastic because it's a good price. It's a $13 charcuterie board, which is excellent. But they recently changed it and what's on it, and I haven't had it yet. So we got to review a new cheese board. Obviously, it is my duty to you. All right, so I have 2 new things to share. For starters, here's the updated charcuterie board. You've got salami with a grain mustard, an onion jam that actually the bartender told me the chefs use the Red Seal Ale in the jam, so that's fun. Blue cheese, lavash crackers, bread and butter pickles. Here you've got a brie cheese, a blueberry compote in which they use the blueberry cider, braciola, and a hard goat, or maybe a semi-hard goat, which I'm excited to try all of that. And then for my beverage, I used to recommend something called the Mike's Mix, which was named after a bartender named Mike, but they don't have the 2 items that were in the Mike's Mix. So this is now the remix, and Patreon behind the scenes saw this first when I first tried it a couple months ago. But this is the mango wheat Hefeweizen beer and the blueberry cider. Again, if you want to order that, call it the remix, but let's dig in. All right, I'm just gonna try and make like the ultimate cracker with this cheese board. I'm gonna do the onion jam, some of this goat, a pickle, and some salami. All right, well, the first thing I'm gonna tell you is the pickles, they used to be like the little gherkins. These bang. These are house-made bread and butter pickles, vinegary, delicious crisp. I really like this goat cheese as well. It used to be a soft goat cheese with like a cran nut on the outside, but I really like this one. Little sweetness from that onion jam. The blue cheese is about the same. Brie cheese is different. The thing I don't like as much, I think overall I think it's better, but I don't like these as much as I liked the crostinis that came with the old one. But and I miss that the old one had grapes on it too. So I think there's pros and cons of each, but it's still a really good shareable cheese board for $13. You're not going to find a charcuterie cheese board for that price at Disney World anywhere. So it's still a steal, and I still recommend it. They also added house-made salt and vinegar kettle chips that come with the beer cheese from the Big Pretzel. So I'm going to try that next time I'm here. Now for the remix. It is really delicious, and as someone who doesn't like sweet drinks, this is about as sweet as I want something like this to be, but it's not as heavy as a beer, which when it's really hot, I don't always want a heavy beer. I actually don't love the mango cart on its own because it's too mango-y, but the blueberry has tempered it and added a little tartness to it. If you're a fruity beer person, or maybe you want to try beer but you're afraid and you like cider, give this a whirl. But as always, Baseline reigns supreme as being a luxuriation spot. All right, delicious snack consumed. And I did fiddle faddle for a minute for Mickey and Minnie's. Didn't see anything closer popped up. Found some more further away pop up. But I was able to move my Toy Story Mania to sooner, and now I still got some time before I can do Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, and I thought to myself, what better thing to do before riding their ride than saying hey to Mickey and Minnie, especially because this is where you can meet Sorcerer Mickey, and I have a Sorcerer Mickey bag charm on right now from Imagineering, and I really want to show it to Mickey. This does not have Lightning Lane, so it's pretty much whatever the standby is, and right now it's pretty low at 25, which is pretty low, because this is where one of the only places where you can meet Mickey and Minnie. Now, at Animal Kingdom, you get to meet them together, one picture. Here, you're gonna meet Minnie and then Mickey. They have very cute outfits on. It's a very cute meet and greet, so let's go. Mickey and Minnie continue to be couple goals, because if you look at these posters, you've got Minnie Mouse in Hollywood Dreams, produced and directed by Mickey Mouse. And then you've got Mickey Mouse as the Sorcerer's Apprentice in the Book of Dreams, produced and directed by Minnie Mouse. First of all, we love a girl boss, aka Minnie. But more than that, we love that they help each other with their projects. How are you? You look so beautiful. Is this your red carpet look? Oh my gosh, it is so fabulous. Always an inspiration. I noticed on the poster that you directed Mickey's movie and he directed your movie. That's so goals. That's the best. How should we pose for our picture? Okay. There we go. Over there. Good to see you, baby. Hi. How are you? I wanted to show you this. It's you. You're just the cutest, and you're so good at magic. And I hope I get to see you later at the magic show. Yeah, up on the mountain with all the fireworks. Do you think that your power of imagination can defeat the villains tonight? I always bet on you. What's in your book? It's magic. Ocean. How should we post for our picture? Oh, like Well, that was just so cute. In total, that whole experience took about 35-40 minutes. It was almost exactly 25 minutes to get to Minnie, and then there was a little bit of a wait between Mickey and Minnie. But super cute meet and greet. Doesn't move super quick, and like any character experience, doesn't have Lightning Lane. So at this point, if you want to meet characters without waiting, you gotta kind of wait till the end or go early in the morning, or as always, I do love a character meal. But now we are headed to go ride Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. It is overtime. It is past time to when we could first tap in. So let's do that before headed to Toy Story Land. Let's also, as I round the corner here, do a little wait time check. It's really not super busy today. I don't know if the afternoon rain scared some people away or what. But let's take a look. Okay, 55 minutes at Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. Still, Aeros Rock and Roller Coaster's closed. 30 minutes at Alien Swirling Saucers, 40 minutes at Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run, 70 at Slinky Dog, 50 at Rise, 40 at Toy Story, and 40 at Tower. So pretty like middling wait times everywhere. And I'm glad we have Lightning Lane today, because while nothing's been obscene, you know, it still does save you time. Now, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway is super cute, family attraction, no height requirement, that's going to put you into the cartoon with Mickey and Minnie and, unfortunately, Goofy, as you try to catch that runaway train.
Hey, Elby, beautiful day for a picnic. Yep, we're off to the park. See y'all there. Nothing can stop us now. I don't know how. Nothing was gonna go wrong.
Cutie patootie attraction. Cute, cute, cute. I love it every time. I think it's amazing how much thrill and excitement they were able to put in an attraction that doesn't have a height requirement. A must-do for me when I'm at this park. And now it's starting to spit a little bit, which does make me worried about Phantasmic, but we're gonna keep moving and grooving and head to Toy Story Land. So right now I actually have both Toy Story Mania and Slinky Dog. They're pretty much almost exactly overlapped, and I could do either one right now. I wanted to do Toy Story Mania first because I wanted Slinky Dog at night when it looks beautiful with the whole land lit up. But I think I'm going to pivot and do Slinky Dog first because I'm afraid of this weather. And I'm afraid that possibly we'll have some lightning, which would mean they'd have to close Slinky Dog. So we're going to switch it up. We're going to be flexible, and we're going to do Slinky Dog Dash right now, even though I do recommend doing it at night if you can, because Toy Story Land looks great during the day. It looks even better at night. Well, it did in fact start raining, but the ride's still operating. I'm under an umbrella right now, and I'm trying to decide if I'm going to ride this ride. I'm going to be very honest with you. Slinky Dog Dash has a 38-inch height requirement, but I always joke that it has a little more bark than it looks like. It's a really fun family coaster with some great elements, some little surprises along the way, and of course, just like all of Toy Story Land, it's themed impeccably. And like I said, if you think it's cute during the day, it is adorable at night with all the string lights and looking down upon a lit up Toy Story Land. It is an incredibly hard lightning lane to get. It is my recommendation that it should be your tier 1 choice when you are booking Hollywood Studios. I was very surprised I was able to book one as a non-resort guest because usually it's gone, but I just don't know if I can do it, y'all. I don't know if the camera is correctly portraying how hard it's raining. And you might be like, why is the ride still open? The rain doesn't affect if rides close, lightning does. It could be monsoon pouring, and as long as it's not lightning in the area, they can run the ride. But you know what I can't bring on the ride? My umbrella. Guys, I can't do it. I can't. You know how I feel about being wet. Not only that, I can't hold this camera. And I have a plastic bag for it, but you know what? I love that there are families on this ride right now that are making a memory they will never forget because they are laughing and giggling, and they're gonna always remember the time they got soaking wet riding Slinky Dog Dash in the rain. And I love that for them, but it cannot be me right now. So if this was like a ride challenge or something, I would do it. I'd figure it out, but I just hate getting wet so much. And so I'm not gonna do it. And if I were you, if I would do it would depend on if I've ridden it before, if I'm coming back to Hollywood Studios, if I have a poncho. Those are all things I'd consider, but I can't do it for my own, I can't do it for mostly the camera, if I'm being real. So we're gonna go do Toy Story, and then I have another stop I wanted to make before the end of the night, and I just hope that this stops before Fantasmic. Toy Story Mania is the OG Toy Story attraction, and it's a shooter style attraction, family attraction, no height requirement, where you are gonna play a bunch of carnival games along with the Toy Story gang, trying to best your opponents. I highly recommend betting your friends and family on who can get the most points. Bet them an ice cream or a churro or a cocktail, and don't hold back. I know they're your family and you're here on vacation with them, but like, don't hold back. I mean that about kids and adults alike.
Hey, howdy, hey! Welcome to our practice game.
Just hold the stride.
Watch those pies.
Whoa, way.
Coming in fast. Whoa!
Nice shooting, Buckaroos.
Ready, aim, break those plates!
Launch your rings to infinity and beyond.
Hi, Buzz.
Extend.
Toy Story Mania, check. Now here's some tips for you to beat everyone in your family. 1, in the first scene, the farmhouse, hit the rat running up the side of the barn. It'll open up the barn to a bunch of high point items. Also hit the fox. It'll trigger chickens to run out, and you can do that as many times as you want. And those chickens are 1,000 each. In the next scene, the lava scene, the best scene, hit all of the lava coming out of the volcano, and if you get all of it, it will erupt with high-scoring targets. In the next scene, the army scene, you are going to have to work with your partner to get the most points because the Green Army men are going to throw up on either side plates worth 2,000. If you can hit them at the same time, it will bring out a large machine, a tank, I guess, that will shoot out a bunch of high-scoring targets. If you're alone or you can't coordinate that, then the plane flying overhead has 2,000 point plates as well. The next one, Buzz Lightyear. If you can get all of the aliens on the middle thing down at the same time, it will open up a big monster that will open his mouth with high scoring points. You can throw your rings into there. Also keep an eye out for the 5,000 point alien that sits off to the side. There's not really a trick for the Woody's Roundup scene, but in the final scene where you've got all of the mine carts running down, make sure to look at the bats. Try to steal your neighbor's bat. Hit bat is 1,000. When you hit it, it becomes 5,000. So hit them both twice. That would give you 12,000 points if you can get all 4 of those bats. And then at the last point where it says it's your last game and you're just supposed to hit the same target over and over again and it gradually gets more and more points, turn and hit your neighbor's target. So you're both working on the same one. Yes, it will help them, but it will also increase the point value higher, thus helping yourself, which is really what you're here to do. All right, y'all, and here's the dealio. Good things come to those who wait, because it's really not raining very hard anymore. And when I was in the app, I realized that because I didn't tap in at both Slinky Dog touch points, the app still thinks I have a lightning lane there because I didn't use it. So I do have one. And it's barely raining now, so let's Slinky Dog dash, shall we? And you know what? It's gonna be even better because it's gonna be the lighting I wanted. Well, closer to it. And if you were wondering, I got a merchandise bag for my camera, which I had before, but I didn't trust completely when it was pouring. But I trust it now. It's really just spitting at this point. Another banger. I'm so glad I got to ride it. I'm so glad I waited, not only because I didn't get wet, but also because I got to ride it at night. And I love that view. I love seeing Tower of Terror all lit up. I love seeing Toy Story Land all lit up. It's awesome. And now it truly is like barely raining anymore, which is fantastic. I've got a few more things on my list. There's like less than 30 minutes of official park time, but we still have fun to have. And we're starting that fun with another treat, because I placed a mobile order right here at Woody's Lunchbox while I was waiting to board Toy Story Mania, because they have a new seasonal lunchbox tart that I am very curious about. Woody's Lunchbox is this adorable little walk-up snack stand that has classic and beloved faves such as the tachos, which are tater tot nachos, the grilled cheese and tomato soup, the brisket melt, and they also have the lunchbox tarts for dessert, which is basically like a fancy Pop-Tart. And they pretty much always have the raspberry one, but they rotate a seasonal, and the seasonal right now is PB&J, which I'm intrigued by because I love peanut butter. I typically like PB&J flavored things, like the PB&J milkshake at 50's Primetime Cafe, but I'm a little nervous because the J is grape, and I do not like artificial grape flavor at all. But we're gonna try it out and see if it's good. Now, as a pro tip with Woody's Lunchbox, one, there's not a ton of seating, so just pack those patient pants if you're gonna eat here, and be aware you may have to use a standing table, or there may not be seating immediately available when you're in here. And two, it is really popular, and because it's so small, the return windows on mobile order fill up pretty quickly, so they're usually far out from when it actually is. So don't wait to the last minute to order here. I recommend ordering if you wanna come here, like when you get into the park, if you can guess when you'd like to eat this. And three, it's outside, and while there are some umbrellas, it's very hot, so I recommend if you're here in the summer to eat here in the evening. All right, here it is. Here we go. All right, my issue's not actually with the grape. There's not enough of the grape flavor. When I ate the grape on its own, when I ate some of the frosting on its own, yeah, it tastes like artificial grape, but when you're eating it all together, you don't actually really taste it. My issue comes with the fact that it's way too dry because the interior is just peanut butter. I thought the interior would be peanut butter and jelly. Like the raspberry jam they put in the raspberry one is excellent, so I was hoping it would be like that. on the inside, but the peanut butter on its own plus the crust is too dry, and you don't have any of the sweet goo of jelly. You have like the hard frosting on top, which is supposed to be the jelly. So I like this idea, but unfortunately this one is a miss for me. I would personally rather stick with the classic raspberry. When they've got the blueberry lemon, that one's excellent. The fall flavors are excellent. There's a sweet potato pie one that's great. There's a pumpkin one that's great, but this one isn't for me. But you know what? We love to learn and try new things. All right, first of all, how beautiful is Toy Story Land at night, right? I wasn't overhyping it. It's so magical. I love the score playing through here. I love these lights. Magic and whimsy. It's lovely. But at this point, there's less than 10 minutes of official park time. It's more crowded than it might normally seem because it's a Disney After Hours event tonight. So a lot of these people are here for that, which is an awesome event. We have a video on it if you want to check it out. But at this point, if you wanted to see Fantasmic, which is at 9:30, so in about 40 minutes, I would tell you to go get a seat for Fantasmic and hope that it happens in spite of the weather. But I'm gonna see if I can do something a little risky. So this is a little bit of a do as I say, not as I do thing. Because again, I'm gonna say it again, if Fantasmic's important to you, you should go get a seat at least 30 minutes early, if not more, on a day like today. If it's a really busy day, an hour. Or consider doing the Fantasmic dining package, which I did in a recent video if you wanna check that out, the show's video. But it is not a very busy day today. I am one person and I can move pretty fast. So I'm gonna see if it's possible to see both nighttime shows in this park in the same night. And a lot of people are maybe at home going, there's 2 nighttime shows? There are. Obviously Fantasmic's the headliner, but there's also a projection show on the Chinese theater called The Wonderful World of Animation. And at one point when it debuted, it had a clip from every single Walt Disney animated classic and every Pixar movie. I don't know how updated they've kept it. I know they added Encanto and Luca. I don't know if they've added like Elio, but it is this sweet projection show on the theater, and it's just about celebrating animation, and the music's fun, and I love projection shows. I think they're so cool. They're like basically just giant montages, which honestly, that was my favorite part of Great Movie Ride. So I'm gonna see that at 9 in just a few minutes, and then I'm gonna scurry myself down to Fantasmic and see if I can get in. May not get the best seat, but you know what? Let's see if we can do it, shall we?
Let's make some magic.
With a this ozone, and you are wearing his merchandise!
Kid, I don't think we're in Litwax anymore.
You certainly are not, friendo. We are in the internet.
I only hope that we never lose sight of one thing. It was all started by a mouse.
I love that show so much. I think it is so underrated, and it gets me teary at the end every time when Walt talks, and I love that it ends with a tribute to Mickey over the years, and it's just so cute. I love that it's divided up by like the family montage, the friend montage, the adventure montage, the villain montage, and I love that it's anchored by some stories we don't get a lot of in the parks. Like instead of Cinderella, the love story is anchored by Sleeping Beauty. We get a whole Emperor's New Groove section, Hercules, Big Hero 6, Wreck-It Ralph. Some of my favorite, very more underrated movies are strongly represented here, and it's a delight. I don't think you're ever gonna watch the show and be like mad you watched it. But now we're gonna scurry down the street and see if we can make it. Clearly, I'm not the only one who had this idea, so we'll see what happens. Ooh, the fog from the weather makes the Hollywood Tower Hotel look so spooky right now. I love walking down Sunset at night because I think this park is particularly beautiful at night with all the old like Hollywood neon lights. And I love the Hollywood Tower Hotel. but I love that it's like all spooky. All right, there's about 15 minutes till showtime. They're still letting everyone in, but they did just make an announcement that they could have to delay the show in case of inclement weather, kind of just subtly preparing everyone. But let's hope that's not the case. Fantasmic is my personal favorite nighttime show at Walt Disney World, has been for a long time. It is about a 25-minute show, and it's a little bit of everything. It's live entertainment and live characters performing in front of you. It's music, it's fireworks. Oh, whoa, that's the Epcot fireworks. It's lasers. It's so much fun, and it is all about if Mickey's imagination is strong enough to defeat the villains in his dream, in his nightmare, I guess you should say. And I love the message of it as well. So let's hope we get to see it, because it really is the best way to end the day here.
We would like to remind you that the lights in the theater will be dimmed during the performance.
And you can also
Waiting just around the river bend. Show You may think you're so powerful. Well, this is my dream. Some imagination, huh?
As always, Fantasmic was perfection. I love that show so much, it just hits me right in the feels. And it didn't help that there were these adorable kids sitting behind me that every new character that would come out, they would lose their minds. They were like, Moana! Moana! Like everyone, the little boy and the little girl, losing their minds. And it was just like joy. And that is what these parks are for so many of us. It is joy. And we all need it, and we need to see the good triumph over evil, and like, see that show. It is wonderful. And I know now you're thinking, hey, the park's closed. It's been actually closed for like an hour because Fantasmic actually started after the park officially closed. I guess it's time to go, but no. There's one more thing we got to do. One of my traditions as I leave a Disney park, and that's go through the merchandise shops, which I recommend you do too, because all these people, they're going to transportation right now. They're going to the buses, they're going to the Skyliner, they're going to the boats, and the lines are going to be really long. So it's actually in your best interest to avoid waiting in those long lines if you're using Disney transportation, to stroll down the street, look at the beautiful neon signs, maybe peruse the stores. You know what I mean? It's in your best interest. I'm just here to help you. Our first merch stop is at Carthay Circle, which is named after and designed after the theater where Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs premiered, because rumor has it the first of the Halloween merchandise has begun to appear in Disney merchandise shops, and you know, it's a Halloween girly. I must see what it looks like. Also though, can we take a minute to look at these windows? I often find myself nostalgic for the ones on Main Street at the Emporium that move, but these are pretty good too. The little Beauty and the Beast windows. Those are fun. Those are a fun little detail that many people, including myself, just walk past most of the time. Okay, let's look at the t-shirt wall for Halloween. Hollywood Studios Monsters, Inc. Muppets isn't even cold yet. How dare you? Okay, not Halloween, but I really like this specific Hollywood Studios t-shirt. I feel like oftentimes recently park merch has become like ubiquitous everywhere all the same. So I like that there's something specific to Hollywood Studios. And speaking of specific to Hollywood Studios, hello Dinosaur Gertie. All right, this is what I'm talking about. Look at that, fall vibes with all the pumpkin treats on it. Where is this shirt? There's also this Walt Disney World one with the bats, but I'm less into that one. I don't see the fall vibes shirt, and now I am sad. I'm gonna keep looking. Here's the other one. Oh, here's another Halloween option, pick your poison. I obviously can't wear this because Ursula, but I do like the cauldrons and the 3 bad witches. Oh my gosh, wait, how cute is the kids' Halloween shirt where all the characters are dressed like mummies? Kids extra large, that'll fit me. Let's look at it. Okay, yeah, that's adorable. I'm still holding out for the snack one though. Oh my gosh, look at this new sweatshirt. Tigger is my second favorite Disney character after Buzz Lightyear. And that color is beautiful. Simple classic, I love it. Let's see what else they got. Daisy in this beautiful teal. Mickey with the nice butter yellow. And Marie on the mint. Those are good, but I do not need another sweatshirt. I live in Florida and my closet's already overflowing with them. Oh, okay, I'm not a Spirit jersey girly. More of a classic crew. But look at this villains one where all of the letters are a different villain. You've even got some underrated villains in here, like Randall from Monsters, Inc., Syndrome from The Incredibles. Oh my gosh, Peg Leg Pete, the black and white. That is adorable. This next store is called Legends of Hollywood, and it's where they have some of the more like trendier or higher priced items, I guess you could say. Like this is where you're gonna find your Dooney and Burke, your Pandora, your Alex and Ani. You're gonna find some of the more like collectible stuff, I guess, too, as far as what they sell here. Like they're gonna have, like they have the new purple color collection, and this is where they'll drop some of the new kind of just like fashion forward things. Not Halloween, but these are 2 very good shirts. I love this little crop with Mickey and Minnie going to the carnival, but it's even better because on the back, look, Mickey won her the teddy bear and she gave him a kiss for it. And then this one is like a textbook almost, with a diagram of all these iconic Disney things, like a Peter Pan's flight pirate ship or a Dumbo vehicle, or even the Remy's Ratatouille adventure vehicle. Like that is cute. But I'm still on this Halloween thing. Look how much quieter the street is just from shopping for 10 minutes. I'm telling you, they can fit 10,000 people in the amphitheater for Fantasmic. You do not want to be going to the transportation with 10,000 people. But we're gonna check the final stores here, and we gotta look at my favorite of the neon lights, and that's the Pluto above the Pluto's Palace sign that wags his tail. All right, last store, Mickey's of Hollywood. They usually have a good t-shirt wall, but also another fun thing you could do if you wanted to stay in the park a little bit later. I don't think they would offer this on after hours nights. Oftentimes you can get an Oga's Cantina reservation for after the park closes, and then you can stay in Galaxy's Edge and walk out to a basically empty Galaxy's Edge, which is really cool. And if you're quick, you can get some good pictures with the Millennium Falcon at night. So that's another good thing to do in the evening time. Okay. Let's see. They also have this one with the little ghosty who's very cute. But alas, doesn't seem like anyone has the fall vibe shirt. But that's okay. It was fun just to scope it out. Oh my God. I might have to buy a mug. I was gonna say I didn't need to buy anything today. But this says it's a salute to all nations, but mostly America. And a little date and time. It's almost July 4th, and honestly, I want to celebrate Sam Eagle and no one else for July 4th, because he is a beacon. Wow, 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 wow. Do I need another mug? No. Do I need a hand wash only mug? No. I'm gonna put it back. I'm gonna be strong. But wow. If 2 people tell me to get it in the comments, I'll get it next time. Well, friends, that is a wrap on the 2nd episode of this Best Night in the Parks series. Hope you had fun following along. I was here starting around 5 o'clock. The park officially closed at 9. Fantasmic was at 9:30, and it is now 10:30, and in that time I got to ride 5 of the most popular rides of all of Walt Disney World, have a couple of snacks, see 2 amazing shows, do a little shopping, and say hello to our favorite mice. So I'd say it was a pretty successful evening, and hopefully by following along this not only showed you why I love nighttime in the Disney parks, it's cooler, the lights, the magic, the fireworks, but also helps you plan your next Disney vacation. Let me know what park you want to see next and what your favorite thing to do is in the evening time in the parks. And until next time, friends, make sure to rate, review, subscribe, follow us on social media, come hang out with the Man Fam in Discord, check out our Patreon for behind the scenes content and more. And until next time, friends, I'm Molly, and it has been so magical. Bye.